one thing I've realized is that it's not just the decisions that change our lives, it's where those decisions are coming from within us, within our psyche. Because two people can make the exact same decision, but end up in completely different places. So it's not just the decision that matters, it's what's going on internally prior to making that decision. And that changes everything. Often when we think about discernment in terms of decision making, we think about those big life decisions. Should I move? Should I take that job? Should I marry this person? You know, we think about that. We don't necessarily think about how discernment starts way earlier than that. Sometimes when we make decisions, we're weighing up the pros and cons. We're trying to imagine where that decision is going to take us way ahead of time. What we are not paying attention to most of the time, right? Most of us are not paying attention to where internally the decision is actually coming from. Instead, we are always focused on the outside. We're focused on what the consequences would be of that decision and what the consequences would not be, the risks of not taking the decision, the risks involved with making the decision. But what is really much more important, I've discovered, is to really think about where internally the decision is coming from. And what I mean by that is it coming, what identity is it coming from? Is it coming from an old version of you? Is it based on fear? Is it based on seeking approval? Is it based on ego? Is it based on trying to prove something? Trying to sneak your way to get something ahead of time? You know, that rushing, that is all fear-based, right? So is it this fear-based old identity, wounded identity? Is that where the decision is coming from? Is it ego-based? Because if it is, it may look really good on paper, but it's not going to lead you where you want to go. Whereas, if the decision is made from this new empowered identity, it's not based on fear, it's based on faith. And it's more importantly, and I think this is the crux of all of it, is it is based on authenticity, truth, integrity, soul. It's something that arises from within your soul, something that feels good, feels aligned, and more importantly, you know that it is aligned with your truth, it's in alignment with your integrity. And you of course don't know what the outcome is going to be of any decision you make necessarily, but if it's coming from that place, you know that it's going to lead you somewhere good, or it's going to lead you somewhere else that will reveal where you're supposed to go from there. Because otherwise, those decisions, and this is why people end up in different places, because two people can make the same decision. One is coming from authenticity and truth. The other is coming from fear, lack, trying to prove something, seeking validation, pride, whatever it is, right? It may look like they're going the same places, but their paths are going to diverge drastically over time. And you want to make sure that you're in that category where you're coming from truth and authenticity and alignment, not from fear, scarcity, lack, trying to prove something. Ain't nobody got time for that anymore. So what I've learned is that our default as human beings, and this is why a lot of people end up stuck in the same loops over and over again, right? Because they are making lots of different decisions and they're trying to change the decisions, trying to align with those choices that they have. But the truth is that the choices are always made from the same identity. It's made from the same psychological blueprint. So even though the decision may look really different to what you've done in the past, it's going to create the same result. This is why people keep repeating patterns over and over again, because the default blueprint in their psychology has not been upgraded, right? So they are still operating from all these unhealed wounds, psychological patterns, beliefs that they have not brought into conscious awareness. And even if they have brought them into conscious awareness, they are not operating from a new identity. They're operating from this old way of being constantly. And every decision they make is made from that old blueprint, from that old identity. And so even if the decision looks completely different, the results are going to be very similar, right? This is why people end up with the same results over and over again, the same failures over and over again, the same patterns over and over again, because they have not updated that blueprint. They have not updated their identity to be, they're not making decisions from the identity of who they really want to be, of who they actually in fact really are, but instead they're making decisions from an identity that has been masked and clouded and shrouded, if you like, in these old patterns. So it's like an unclean identity. It's actually not the truth of who you are. It's just a wounding-based identity. And once everything, like all of that old wounded identity is stripped away, you can step into who you really are, authenticity, truth, right? Who you really are without the wounding, without everything that has led you to be in a smaller version, a smaller expression of the truth of who you really are. And once you step into that and make decisions from that place, from that identity, that's when you're going to create different results. So instead of asking when you're making a decision, what should I do? What would be the better choice in this scenario? A better question to ask would be, who am I becoming? And who is really making this decision? From where within my psyche, from where am I making this decision? Is this coming from the conditioning I've always had? Or is this coming from who I actually truly really am without all of that faulty conditioning? The truth of who I be. Is that where the decision is coming from? And that's a much better way to determine which decision would be the right one to make at any given moment in time. Because the only way to really create meaningful, lasting change is to make sure that the decisions that we make are always, without fault, in alignment with the truth of who we really are and who we are becoming. Make decisions from who you want to become, not from who you've been. And that is what's going to create different results in your reality, because reality responds to identity. And inner transformation has to precede outer transformation. It has to precede outer transformation every single time. So instead of focusing on all the external aspects of a decision, go within and focus on the internal, because that is what's going to create the outer shifts. If you have the courage and the trust to make decisions from that place, even if the decision doesn't look as good externally, and have the patience to trust that the plants you are seeding with those decisions are going to bear the fruit that you deserve, then that's when the changes are going to take place. I don't believe we create fulfilling lives by chasing the right opportunities. I believe we create fulfilling lives by becoming the kind of people who make decisions from the right place. And perhaps discernment is not about learning which decisions to make. Rather, it's about learning and understanding where those decisions are really coming from within yourself. If you like this, hit the like button and subscribe for more. I'm Hege, sharing spiritual insight, poetry, music, and lived reflections to help us see more clearly and to live more truthfully together. Till next time.